Hi, welcome back to Dogwood Paper Arts. This is Thoma, and today we are going to make some pockets like these, 3 down here, and we're going to make them in a little bit faster fashion. Let me set my timer. Sorry about this, I meant to have it set before I got here, but I have to time myself, otherwise, you know, I'll go over. So I'll go over an hour because I like to be here. So, well. So anyway, we're going to make 3 of these basically at one time. And these will actually hold ephemera. Now this is like Patricia Viramonte's has taught pockets before. So each one of these is a 2-pocket, but if you glue just 3 sides down to your page, then you have a pocket here. Or you can just glue these 3 sides and have a slip-in pocket here, sideways. So let me show you how I came up with this idea to do 3 at one time. Well, I don't think I came up with the idea. Scratch that. I thought of this idea trying to think how I could make 3 pockets for a 3 signature journal in a quick fashion. So, but this is based off the Patricia Viramonte's book pages, turning them into pockets. So let me set those in my little completed box over there. And, oh, this was the first one I made. They didn't turn out so hot. This is made out of book pages. And I was able to make 2 out of a book page. But my sewing here was a little off. But they're usable. And then I made this one out of one page. So I have some different sizes there. But then I thought, no, I really want to get 3 because a lot of times I will make similar pockets to go in my pages, in my signatures. So let's see. Let me get a piece of white paper so I can kind of show you how I'm doing this. It actually takes 2 sheets of paper, and then if you want to hang on, let me get a piece of coffee dyed paper just so we can distinguish the difference between the 2. It takes 2 sheets of paper, and then if you want to cover it, it takes your scraps or about a 12 by 12 sheet of paper to make 2 complete sets. You'll still have scraps left over. I'm sorry, I can't solve that problem. So, let me move my machine. I'm just using the white and the coffee dyed so you can see the difference. Okay. So the coffee dyed kind of shrinks and missizes itself when it gets dyed, so these pockets will be off slightly. Okay, so I took my first sheet of paper and I folded it up where I wanted my first pocket to be, up here. I'm not folding the one underneath, just this one. Then I folded this one up to meet this one to fold in about the same area. You can make it a little deeper if you like. And then I folded this directly down even. Okay. So that gives us 3 pockets. 2 pockets. 1, 2. Well, of course that's way too big for our page. We know that. So then I got out my scraps, and I haven't sized them to this one yet. So let's move that one over and I'll bring in the one that I have sized it to. think it's this one. Let's make sure. Okay, so the first thing I did was open this flap here. Oh, I already did it. Let me grab this one. Let's put those over there and bring in these. Okay, so the first thing I did was I glued this flap down. That makes a nice pocket there without a pocket that will tear. I am going to sew these, and then we'll do one that is not sewn. So I just ran my glue down the center, a couple of swipes, and then I folded it back over, starting in the middle and working my way out. And it's off a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, then I took this piece here, I removed that one, and if your words have a right and wrong side, or an upside down, right side upside, make sure you get it the correct way. So now I'm going to apply this one. First I'm going to put a little bit of glue along here, and because I'm sewing it, I'm trying to keep the glue a little lighter on the edges. Now get your words right side up if you have them like I do. Starting at the bottom, just apply your paper. There we go. And then take your glue and glue that flap. And I find it's best to work from your center out and then just fold it over so that it strengthens up the pocket for the tags. Then I took this piece making sure it's the right one. And I took a different color. Make sure that's the right one, and it is not. Of course not. Let's try this one. Oh, yeah, it was the right piece. I'm sorry. I just didn't make it go all the way down. And you can see here I'm offsetting them just a little bit, just barely tucking it into the pocket. And I have it, let me slip this in that pocket. I'm going to bring this up so I can fold it over, because this is just a single sheet of coffee dyed paper there. So it's not going to be strong enough to use the flap all the time. Once I did that, I went ahead and drew myself a little line right through here, so I know I don't want to glue down here, otherwise we'll glue our pocket together on the bottom. Set those aside. Let me scoot that over there. It doesn't matter if you've got a little rip in your coffee dyed paper, it's going to glue down. I would put glue around it so that your sewing machine doesn't decide to get caught up in it. I haven't gone all the way to the edges. It's really not necessary. So starting at your line, your pencil line, go ahead and put your next sheet of paper down. Flip it over and run glue along that edge. And then the same way, I start in the center and pull that over. That's a motorcycle going by. am listening for helicopters. We've got a forest fire somewhere and a bucket helicopter keeps flying over, so I'm not sure where the fire is at, but it's not near here, thank goodness. So you can see now we have 2 decorated pockets. 1, 2. Now we're going to apply this one. Now this is the same way here. Oh, I forgot to cut that one off. I'm not going to put it all the way down in the pocket. I'm just going to slip it just on the inside, and then I'm going to fold this over in case I decide to put a pocket at the top. So once again, I'm going to mark this off. Just making sure it's inside enough that it doesn't show. And then I'm just going to draw a light line across there. And once again, I got my glue. And I applied this starting at the line. And if it doesn't fit on one end, we'll just clip it off. Wipe up any excess glue. And you can see it doesn't fit right there, so I need to peel that back up. Thank heavens for this kind of glue, because if you get to it soon enough, you can peel it off. Now, unfortunately, this does make more scraps, but we can live with that, right? I think before I clip this off, I'm going to go ahead and apply this piece over it. And then we'll clip it off even. There we go. Now we don't have so much clipping to do. Always harder to cut this way. I don't know why. I feel like I must be a left-handed cutter, paper maker here. Okay, so now we have this and that. Let's add this to it. Now we have a super nice quilted pocket. Looks like a quilt to me. Okay, the next thing I did was I sewed along here and here and here. So let me put my cap on my glue. You know, it might save us a step to do this next part next. Let's save a step. I mark this off at 3 5/8 of an inch. Down here on the bottom one. So 3 5/8 right here. And I marked it up here as well. 3 5/8. And then I drew a line. Oh, there it is, way over there. Let me double check that one. It's right in the eye of the name Maria. Yep, that's where it is, right there. I made it a little darker so I could see it just a little bit better. So then I put a pencil line here. That's going to be your cutting line later. Then I went 3 5/8 again. Right there. And right here. Once again, I landed on Maria's name. That's the name on the paper. And I went ahead and drew a line there. This pocket's going to be just a little bit bigger, I believe, or is it smaller? It's 3 1/2, so it's a little bit smaller. But my line is off right there. I can tell that by looking at it. So somewhere I mismeasured. Got more like 3 1/2 on one, and so let's try that again. I'll go from this edge. We'll see what it looks like. 3 5/8. We're going to clip that little piece off probably. So right there. And 3 5/8. Puts it in the same spot. That's weird because it does not look right at all. Maybe this line is off. I'll have to remeasure it. Anyway, it's simple till you draw a line. Let's see. 3 5/8. Ah, it's this one. This one is off. 3 and... No, it's right. 5/8. Okay, it says it's right. So we have 2 pockets the same size. One is a little bit smaller by what, a 1/16, an 1/8 of an inch. Okay, let's bring the sewing machine over. If you don't like to hear the sewing, now I do not have pink thread in here, I'll be honest with you. I have green thread in here. So we are going to stitch it with green. So the first thing I do is pull this piece out and open it up. And I'm going to stitch my straight stitch right along here. I am using my sewing foot as a guide. And let's see, it was 4 there and 3 there, I believe. And I am going to back stitch just a little bit. Now if there's a tear in your paper on the back, your machine tends to want to get caught up on that. And if there's stuff in your way back there, like glue bottles, you might as well move them because the paper's 11 inches long when it's coming out the back. So there's one all sewn. Now let's sew, these are together, or one sheet. So fold it back out, and I like to stitch on the top. And once again, put your sewing in. And then move to the top one and put your sewing in on this one. Sorry if I get out of screen. It's hard to figure out where you're at when you've got a machine here taking up a good deal of your space. I thought you might like to see what's happening. Now I didn't backstitch this one. I'll probably wish later I had, but really we're going to stitch right over that sewing anyway. Okay, so now we have those 3 pieces sewn. I like to clip off my little tails here, just so I don't get them caught up in the bottom of the machine. Come here. Come here, little thread. You need a haircut. Okay. Now, let's put just some glue on the back here of this one. You can use your stick glue or your regular glue. It really does not matter. And you can actually put it here or here. It doesn't matter. You just don't want it to go. Let's do this one, just so we'll be careful. Oops. I need more glue stick. Now this time I do need to glue up to here. Right? Right, or wrong? Wrong. I'm not sure. I have to think about it. We can glue it with the other. Yeah, I did. I did need to. Nope. I find it's easier if you can hold that straight. Sorry if my head is in the way. Put that down along that line. You have just a little maneuverability with that glue. And then, yes, we need to glue this piece down. And I'm going to wipe off that excess glue that's peeking out here where this the coffee dyed paper was a little shorter than the other one. Okay, so now we're going to bring our machine back over and we're going to put our cap on our glue. Otherwise I forget. Scotch likes it when I forget because then I have to buy more glue. Okay, I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to sew all the way around the edge. Let's see, I have my stitching correct. And I am using, I think I told you, I'm using the presser foot, the sewing foot, as my guide for where I want my stitching to go. I do want to back stitch it. This actually makes it a little smaller pocket down here, but I just like the stitching. I think it looks really neat. Stop before it's time to turn it, so you don't have to pull this all out and start over again. whoops, running into stuff. I guess you could have waited to stitch the top until you did this part. But now I'll just have double stitching up here. It'll even make it more hefty, won't it? Going slow so I can get to that spot. I need to go one more. One more little loop. If some of the paper turns when you get to your presser foot there, or your sewing foot, then just lift that up with your needle down. Lift the little foot up. Okay. Let's clip those threads. They like to gather around the back, don't they? So this is what we have so far. Now I'm going to take these lines that I drew, and I'm going to once again use my sewing foot as a guide, and I'm going to guide it along this side and then along this side. I'm going to try to keep them even, so when I clip this, the pocket is the same size on each side after the sewing line. If that makes sense. I think I stirred on the wrong side. Let me peek. Yep, I did. Take that out. There we go. We want to start right there. So I'm using the outside of the presser foot, or I'm bad with words today. I'm going to go back through. A little harder when you have to get all these papers through the machine. I may run out of thread. Now let's do this one. Oh, you need to be in the upright position, needle. And now getting this all through your machine again. Oops, raise my needle up. There we go. Now what do we do with it, you say? Well, I'll show you. Clip some threads here. Oh, I have a glue tipped over back there. Now I'm going to cut along that line that I had left over. I like to use my big scissors for this. You can also use your rotary cutter or whatever you have. And there we go. Very nice pocket. Was just off a little bit right up there. And there you go. Now, let's see. How would we do it if we didn't want to use a sewing machine? Well, let me think here. This is what they look like. So they turn out pretty good. In a book page, they might look something like, it's a nice thick piece here of coffee dyed paper. It's a watercolor paper. They would look something like that. And then you could stick little bits of ephemera in them. There, there, and here, or here, here, and here. Not that, it's too thick. So there we go. Very fast. It took us 23 minutes to make 3 pockets. That's fast for me. So if we were to glue them, it would be a little bit different for sure, because we are going to have to figure out where our lines are going to get, whoops, glued. But it shouldn't be too hard, right? So let's put this piece on the bottom where I've already glued that one, this flap down, but now we're going to have to glue this one. Now if you're, let me get my paper pad. If you were going to glue it down, you need to glue it all the way down. And where's my glue stick? So this time we'll apply our glue all the way to the edges. Top and bottom and side. Take that off. And we'll start at the bottom with our words right side up. Don't press it to your pocket there. Fold it over. And there's our first pocket. Now let's do our next one. That is this one. Oh, you know, that one is the wrong size. I don't know how I did that. Maybe it was supposed to be this one. Oh, wait. Angela, silly girl. It's this one. I forgot to bring the right paper back in. So we know we want it to, fold over to strengthen the opening. We also know that we want it to come part way down so it can't see the paper behind it. So that's about where it needs to be. Oh, I am going to draw my line again. And the reason I'm doing that is so I don't put glue on this side. I guess, really, what you want to do, instead of doing that, you wouldn't even have to draw the line. You would put your glue all over this one and then glue it to that. And then, of course, when you're all completed and everything, you'll want to do your ephemera on it. Okay, now I drew that line, so I'm going to use that to help me here. I'm going to open that up, squish it down. I'm off a little bit. That's going to be okay though. I'm not going to pull it back up. Fold that over and glue it down. And let's remove that part. Let's remove a little more of that part. There we go. So really, it doesn't show up too bad over there. Okay, that's our pocket that goes there. And this goes there. So now we need this piece right here. Now you could, if you wanted, leave your back sheet and this one separated. I'm not going to, but that would give you another pocket right here for like a postcard or something. You could do a little roundy cut there, half round. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and do it like the other pocket. I think I want to glue that over both of those, so I think what I will do is glue the back of this one so I can set it on that one. I do like this glue. It's very nice glue. It's treated me well. Trying to get to the sides. If we need to go back and, excuse me, put some more glue in, we'll use the art glitter glue. So this needs to come just to the other side of this line right here. And I'm going to have to turn it this way so that I can see that line better. Got a little wrinkle there, didn't I? Where's my squeegee? There's my squeegee. You can see the difference in size on the coffee dyed and the other paper. Kind of shrinks here and there. Okay, so now let's go back here and we're going to apply this one to that one. Oh, I got glue on the outside of it. Now if you're going to want to put ink around the edges, you might want to do that before you do the sewing or before you glue all your pieces together. If you want to do the front of your pockets and stuff, you'll still be able to do it afterwards. It'll just be a little bit tighter to do. Okay. Now I didn't draw a line this time, for which I'm very sad about, because it is so much easier if there's a line. But we're going to do it anyway. Flip it over. Yeah, see, I didn't leave myself much space there, did I? But it's still going to glue over, so we're okay. It is a little bit crooked right there. But hey, it works. Okay. So now you're going to want to divide your pockets up into threes again. So let's do that before we glue any sides down, because we're going to have to glue this center part first. Now you could go ahead and cut each of these at 3 5/8 and then glue them. That might be the best way to do it. In fact, I really think it probably is. So 3 5/8 and 3 5/8. So let me put this on my cutting machine, my rotary cutter. And I'm going to cut it on those lines. It's not going to like the glue, but I'll treat it well afterwards to a blade cleaning and it will be fine. Okay, so now we have this. So let's say that I do want to distress these. So this would be a good time to do the distressing. Still quite gluey. I'm going to wet my ink just a little bit so I get a little more ink there. That was a little more than I wanted, but we'll fix that. There, now it looks antique-ish. Should have let it soak down in first before I attempted to stick my dauber in there. I really need to just fill it with ink. But this does take care of it, I do have to admit. Now I do have an opening down here, so I'm going to take the glitter glue, run it down there along the bottom. I'm going to squish that down. And now I'm going to say it's ready for this. Okay, so let's glue them together. On camera? I am now. Sorry if I was off. It's really hard to remember. I need an alarm that goes off when I'm working too close to my body. And then we'll glue this one. I glued that one. Sheesh, I forgot. And then let's see what happens if we round the corners. I'm going to corner round it 1/2 inch. It's wet with glue, so my corner rounder says I don't like it. It's a 1/2 inch round, not a 1/4. So there we go. I like it that way. That looks cool. It changes its look from the other one that way. Just remember to re-ink that part. So there we go. So we have a sewn version and inked up, really inked up version with rounded corners. I like the rounded corners. I think that's very appealing. So there's those. Let's do the next one. I'm not going to ink this one just to save time. Fold that up. And we will fold that one up. Well, that one seems a little bit crooked. So I'm going to clip that off. That must have been on the outside one. I'm going to 1/2 inch round these. Definitely have to glue that little piece down there. Everybody's getting glue on them today. I'll have to change my sewing needle too. So if that is coming up, go ahead and stick your glue in there. Glue it back down. And there's that one. One more. Anyway, this is a super fast way to get some pockets done. As you see, I've gotten 6 pockets done in less than an hour. It's been 53 minutes. And I've completed 6 pockets. 3 that are sewn, and sewing takes time, and 3 that are glued. And I want to try something different. I'm going to try a scalloped edge. Ooh, I like it. And there we go, a scalloped edge. There we go. So a rounded one, 2 rounded ones, and a scalloped one. Looks pretty good. Okay, well, I hope that was a good video for you. I appreciate you joining me today for this experiment. And I hope you'll be back tomorrow. I believe I'm going to be doing, my 200 subscriber giveaway. So I have to make that video next. So anyway, I really do appreciate you being here. I appreciate your subscription. I appreciate your comments and your likes, your thumbs up. It all helps me to get my algorithm set right for YouTube. So Anyway, I'll be seeing you tomorrow, and we will go over the rules of the giveaway. Okay, thanks for joining me. Bye-bye for now.